Well, it's the next day after that double mower and square bale extravaganza. I didn't round bale like I said I would. I'm mowing more hay because the weather got better. The forecast got better. The rain this morning, well, stayed south of the river, and then they said we were good until Sunday afternoon. So it's Thursday. Yeehaw! We'll spend the weekend doing hay, at least the first half. The first weekend in August, the 23. It 2 weeks ahead of last year. While I'm thinking of it, here's a real unfun fact. So I have the cap ready to come off. The tractor's running. I don't want to shut it off just because we're nowhere close to home. Did you hear that? The seal on the new fuel cap I picked up apparently is really, really good, to the point it creates a vacuum. And we had some trouble getting this started today, and I didn't realize it. Like when I went to put fuel in, took the cap off, and there was a lot of vacuum there, so that's not good. We'll take a close look at the hay. Seen plenty of mowing. We'll see baling and whatnot later. Oh, my red top bent grass has, well, come and gone. 2 weeks ago the tops were still red, but the weather is now not 2 weeks ago, and the weather wasn't much good before that, unless we were planting. So yeehaw, we're here, we're making hay. Fun thing about the dates, like I said, this was 2 weeks. I'm getting to this 2 weeks before I did last year, and last year this was the field for which the wreck happened, and I also tried to rip my pinky nail off. That has healed since last year. Obviously that only took, say, a couple weeks. So we're ready to hit the road. Mower's all folded up, and well, we got our safety triangle. Well, we're out on a small delivery this morning. That way we got some empty wagons to fill up tomorrow for that hay I mowed yesterday. I guess we won't put you through the sweat work of unloading, but it was a nice drive here. I'll bring a tractor because, well, the access to the barn doesn't necessarily warrant a truck working very well. Okay, that's free. It's a good... Ooh, well, it's a tight bale. There. Safe spot for the hitch pin. Now we can see daylight through there, right? My whole finger doesn't have to fit, but there's daylight. Should have used lock nuts. Didn't think those would wiggle loose as they have. Oh, here we are in the 1086 doing, well, based on the layout of hay, we're not baling yet. In this moment, I will say, I don't know how much horsepower I need, but I know how much horsepower I'm going to use. The rake got left here after square baling. We ended up getting all the mowers home. So I brought the round baler with the 10 and a round bale with the 10, but we're raking first. Really missing the double setup right now. However, I can really control how big I make the windrows. I can rake a whole bunch together and just keep going in the same direction, making big loops and putting a whole bunch together. Oh, merry-go-round. Make the turn. Well, this is the second pass this way, and that was the second that way. Oh, it ends up being probably 5 swaths of the rake together, trying to make as big as windrow as possible, I guess. See, since I've got the super mega wide, whatever they call that, whoever's brand, on the pickup, it's easier to get, you know, I might as well make a big fat windrow because I got the width, and it makes it real easy so I don't have to drunk drive while baling. And a lot later in the day than I wanted to be, a lot of things to do, corn to pick, had to help some people with their car emergency. So now I'm here to baling hay, and I gotta watch what I'm doing going forward and not watching the rake so much. Well, that's new to me, and maybe it's a speed thing. Do you see that? Right there, look at the lichen. Yeah, I don't know, for some reason it got real clangy bangy back here, and that one's got a bend from something. So I gotta try to figure out a way to bend it. I think I got a plan. I think. I got a wrench and some pliers. I need to just create, I don't know, enough leverage on something. I don't know what exactly the plan is, but I'll figure it out. I've bent these back before, but I don't feel like taking this off to figure out how to bend it. I think this is the plan I'm going for, and I'm trying to leverage it against itself more. Like, I see the bend right there. That's where I'm trying to bend it, and not so much, you know, bending it up high doesn't do much good. Guess I could do something like that and try to like hammer it. This is gonna be loud for you guys where you're sitting. That's just kind of springy. I tried. It's got a little bend to it, but it misses down there. It misses that guide on the basket, and it misses the bar in front of it. Yeah, it's as straight as I can get it at the moment. So I think we're ready to keep rolling. Let's roll. Oh good, no clangy bang. I guess we got it bent back straight enough. Well, here we go a baling. I've already made a few bales already. Oh yeah, we're getting the most of having the Maga super sweep. I think Maga White's John Deere. I don't even know why that's in my vocabulary. It's a super sweep. That's what New Holland called it. Windrow might not be as thick back here, but it sure makes for quick baling. I've already made a half a dozen. It's going well. I only broke the shear bolt once because I got too excited starting to bale. It just gets it starts to wrap back up the chain. You try to stuff too much in at once at the beginning. We're getting ready to make a bale soon here, it looks like. So you've seen me bale this field before in years past, maybe not last year, but definitely in years past where it looks like it's been snowing, super fluffy. That's because I mowed it later. And I think it's all about timing on the sage grass, to where it's, you know, not noticeably snowy fluff in the bale. And I think that makes all the difference. Okay. Switch up. There goes the net. I come around once, twice, and we cut. Time to dump. Yeah, so they can like fertilize the sage grass a lot. And sure, it probably might get going better because of low fertility, but it also gets going because there's seed in the, like, probably the neighbor's field or fields close by. This isn't spontaneous generation. We made it past the 1600s. We know spontaneous generation isn't a thing. Seed's got to come from somewhere. I also got to watch where I'm driving. But see, yeah, fertilizing it all it does is make it thicker, and you're hoping that the other grass, you know, will grow enough to then choke it out. But on that note, it's like feeding a bear and hoping it'll go away. You got to do more than just fertilize it to get it to go away. So by cutting it right before it bolts to make the fluffy seed, hopefully that slows it down where now it doesn't have enough time in the growing season to do that. Well, we can't see them all, maybe, depending upon how far we look or the camera can focus. But we made 24 round bales here in addition to the 100+ squares. So that would mean over like 30, probably roughly 33 rounds, about what we did last year, so pretty good. Well, we're here the next day. It's Saturday the 5th. It's probably all stacked into one big video. If we get this done, it'll be the best hay week I've had all summer. If we don't, it was a good week. Don't look at the sky. My phone is adamant that the rain's gonna hold off until dark, but it's getting awfully cloudy. Even though I wore my sun shirt, I won't need it. And we're out here raking. Unfortunately, there's a lot of the field where I'm raking across the windrows. But as long as we go back and forth, it'll be an even windrow. See, I'm not a big fan of cutting across because sometimes it like balls it up. This is one nice thing about going the single rake, is that going one way, you make the balls one way, and going back, they'll be offset just because you're raking the opposite direction, if that makes sense. Doing this with the double hitch, it got a little clumpy because I raked this field the same way last year. Oh, good, Adam's here. Woohoo, we'll be ready to go as soon as I get done here. I'm a little, maybe halfway. The rows get a little shorter here, but it's always a question, where do you want a bunch of short rows? And these are kind of medium compared to what I'd maybe have out front. At least we're not dodging trees on these short rows. Which is another thing I was worried about sunsets over there, that this side along the trees would be a little wet still. It's actually doing pretty good. That might be because the grass has made it to seed production. And if this was second cutting, I just would be dead in the water on this. I didn't cut it. One thing about that, I'm pretty far away from home, farther than I'd like to be. About 14 miles to get here, but this is just about that kind of hay they talk about in them country songs in its first cutting. Usually you need second cutting for that. I just love the grass that grows here. So gloriously soft. It's got to feel good in a cow or horse's mouth. That's one funny thing. I had somebody stop by for some hay yesterday, and they told me, my horse really likes your hay. I'm like, oh, well, it's grass that grows. I bale the grass that grows. And this is the grass that grows, so I didn't claim anything special. It's just dry grass. Well, here we go. Because of where I parked the baler, we're kind of starting in the middle of the field, but it's all got to get baled up, so not too much lollygag talking time here. But look at this, a lovely raked field. We're just gonna keep praying the rain away. Well, here we go on the second wagon load. I got a second or two of lollygagging, not dilly-dallying, because the chute was empty. And we can admire our wagon load from afar. Look at all that hard work to get there. Look at how much hard work is left. I don't know, maybe we'll make another 100. It's very deceiving. Lots of short windrows. That's what I thought last year. And I ended up like filling 2 wagons and then needing to fill the truck. Oh yeah, a fun note, you saw me wearing the hat. This is great for like when I'm stacking up high and the stuff just falls on the hat, not my head, and definitely not down my shirt. That's a blast. It's nice not being all hay covered. Well, I think the camera will pick it up. It's kind of fun to see. You can see exactly where I mowed. Like where it was underneath and shaded from the sun. The grass looks better than where it wasn't shaded from the sun. That's where it's like darker brown. I mean, I like laying out as wide as possible for drying to cover the area. So, that's just an odd observation. Well, it turned into 2 good loads of squares. About 160 on this wagon. I think it was like 165 on the other. So I made 320 here. That's only maybe 30 bales short for the field compared to last year, so it did really well. Dry May did not affect it. But there was at one point when I was raking, I saw like 10 drops on the hood. That was a little scary, but the sun came back out. And for where we are, if there's any place that's going to get rain, when there's rain chances, the area that I'm in, it seems like they're always a definite they're going to get it. So for the week, we made about 1150 on square bales and 26 rounds. Great week. Probably been the best hay week we've had all summer for first cutting. It is delightful. Let's hope we can get another week like this where I can notch out the rest of first cutting, and most of that's only like single cut stuff anyways. So I'll catch you guys later with more fun farming action. Let's see if we can make it up this hill. There was 2 big ones on the state route I had to downshift for. Not too much smoke. See if the load's still back there. Oh yeah. Might take a second to recover. Still got the throttle down. But we're testing out our ponies. Well, a little bit more straight and then we're home. We did it, we did it. Yay, all safe and home. Another wildly long road.